Good morning and welcome to my office, my toolbox, my transportation, my catch-all. This Jeep has turned into a fantastic decision as a backup vehicle and also just a fun little side-by-side on the property. A couple things to note before I jump into what's going on right now. I recently started a wonderful, hopefully wonderful, business relationship with Bad Boy. I purchased my Bad Boy tractor several months ago. I've got 300 hours on it already. It's been a workhorse for me. I have abused it, tore up a few things. Regardless, so I really enjoy that machine, and I'm glad I purchased it. So I reached out to Bad Boy a long time ago trying to start some type of marketing relationship. These types of relationships are a win-win situation because the company gets much less expensive advertising than say typical media advertising, and the person who is doing the advertising, me, I get a way to purchase the implements in a non-direct monetary way. So I can purchase it via work exposure, using the stuff as it was intended to be used and letting the products speak for themselves. So I recently got a 5-foot box blade from Bad Boy and a 6-foot grater blade, and I am really excited to use both of them. You know, I had a borrowed box blade for quite a while, and I'm very appreciative that I got the opportunity to use that, but it didn't have any ripper shanks. There was 2 ripper shanks in them in the middle of it, but they were too high and they were kind of seized up to where I could not adjust them, so they're ineffective, essentially not there. So this one has four or five, I think it's 4 ripper shanks, and it allowed me to break up this super hard clay come summertime. And the grater blade, well, I've got a 1,300-foot driveway. It's a crowned driveway and it's all gravel. Needless to say, a grater blade will be used heavily in my future, as well as the trails. I want to crown most of the trails so that way I get a slight ditch on either side. Dry driving in the middle, water should run off nice and easily. So I've got a lot of use on those 2 implements in my future. So yeah, that's exciting, and I like transparency. I want to let you guys know what's going on. So I've got 2 new Bad Boy implements to use. I already used them, and I shouldn't have. So they're building the shop, and a couple days ago it was just, I mean, it was just fudge out there, just straight up fudge. And their machines were having a hard time getting around and developing some deep ruts. They asked me if I could box blade it a little bit. And I said, yeah, knowing that, you know, I really shouldn't do this. It's not going to be effective hardly at all. And it's just going to be an absolute ooey gooey mess. I did it anyway. Probably wouldn't have if it was a different situation, but these guys are trying to get some stuff done, so it wasn't very effective. But hey, I tried. Got some of that on camera. So they're by no means nice and shiny anymore. They're already broken in a little bit. Today, let me spin you around and I'll show you what they've got going on. I'm still sitting here in the comfort of my Jeep watching them. Today, the roof is going on. Let's see if I can't zoom in. This phone's acting goofy. Here we go. Got the roof going on. The other side of the shop is the lean-to. The colors you're looking at is ocean blue and polar white. So basically a throwback Detroit Lions shop. And that was not intentional. So what's my plan for today? Well, I initially wanted to get on the tractor and use the grapple to start moving all these pines and these logs that I cut up and limbed up already. Because that needs to be moved so that when the septic is installed, well, advanced treatment facility, when that is installed, I think they have to come in just a little bit into this area for their drain lines and whatnot. So I need to move those, but I could do that tomorrow and instead use today to kind of just soak in what could potentially be the last day of the shop build. They're rocking and rolling on this roof, and I don't think there's anything else left to do. They already assembled the guts of the lean-to, the skeleton of the lean-to, so I think they're just putting the roof on, and that's it, I think. I could be wrong. but I think I'm gonna just watch that today. You know what I'm saying? Just take it in. Life is good. Life is good. Crew's over there just chugging along. I'm moving cameras around, trying to get a bunch of stuff, but also looking around the clearing for tracks because it just rained and they're not super fresh, so these are probably before the last rain, but there's some deer tracks right there and they kind of meander through here. So the 2-acre clearing where we are setting up house and shop, I want to have wildlife up here coming close and whatnot, but in that direction, an adjacent property is a soybean field. I think it's about 20 to 40 acre soybean field. I don't know for sure. And quite a ways that way, several hundred feet that way, I found yesterday what looks like a deer run going towards the soybean field, which makes sense because the creek is on that side and it's stopping immediate easy traffic of the deer to cross from the west. So they're coming up through the south, coming through our property, going to the bean field. And I think what I want to do today is put up a trail camera and see if I can't get some of them on camera. Jamie came with me back after lunch to check out the progress. And we are almost there. Looks like 2 more sheets in that direction. And then button up some trim around it. And I imagine they're going to take tomorrow off because we're expecting 25-mile-an-hour winds. I don't think they're going to do the carport during that. But we got a shot, babe. Keep staring at it like it's gonna change or something.
Might spit up or something, I don't know.
We just went trail riding and looking at deer tracks and thinking about a spot to put up a deer camera or a trail camera. Anywho, oops, wrong way. Fun little view through the woods. And I'm gonna take the trails out of here because the clearing is way too much. Beginning of day, I think this is day 6 on the shop build, and got out here a little bit later than what I wanted to. It's like 9 a.m. Looks like they've already got the purlins up on the lean-to area and probably gonna skin it here soon. Still a crazy muddy mess. The depth of these ruts doesn't really show up on all of this, on these cameras and whatnot, but that'll be for when it not cools off, but when it dries out a little bit, I can smear this out once again. And it's supposed to be 25-mile-an-hour winds today, so I think they're just trying to wrap it up as soon as possible. This is all that's left. It's just the trim around the roof, all the way around, and then the roof itself right here. Now on this side it's just a mess too. So the sewer out comes out right there, and you see that water hose too. That's to let me know where the sewer line is, and that water hose I got to connect back up and trench all the way that way to connect to the water supply. And that's only 60 feet. The guy with the excavator coming for the septic, he said he'll do it for $2 a foot to connect the dots. 120 bucks to get that done for me. I've got all the supplies. I'm gonna accept that offer. Wow, it's cold. It's in the 30s with high wind, which I know colder climates, oh, that's nothing, but for us here we're not used to this. So for me today, I've got to get all these moved, stacked nice and orderly over there. I think I'm running out of areas to stack stuff, but I'm going to stack these over there. They're going to be picked up and left. A lot of these are going bye-bye shortly. And I'm so cold, I'm having a hard time speaking. So these are all going, but I got to get them out of the way because the treatment facility, the septic, is going to go right there. And I don't know if they're going this way with their fill lines or drain lines or whatever. If they're going this way, I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. We'll work around wherever they have to go. But if they have to go this way, I got to get this moved. That's what I'm trying to say. It's cold, so I'm gonna wait for the glow plugged light to go off. I let it warm up just over 1,000 RPM. Let it completely warm up before I do anything. Man, this thing needs a bath. She needs a bath, bad. Oh, buddy. End of day, I think 6, and as you can see, the lean-to's not done just yet. It's just too windy. I get it. So they worked until about lunch, and that was enough. They only got 1, 2, 3, 4 panels on the lean-to roof, and then everything starts to become a kite, so they'll be back tomorrow. A lot of other stuff has changed too, so I'm going to have the builder install the electrical meter base outside and the 200 amp panel inside. He's just going to connect those dots for me real quick, get that mounted, and that'll save me a bunch of time too, so that way I can get the ball rolling on getting the electric company scheduled to complete the service from their ground mount transformer over there to this back corner over there of the shop, and then I could work on the interior at my convenience. So if I get the electricity mounted, or the meter base outside mounted, the panel inside mounted, I can just drop a real fast 30 amp circuit to hook up the camper. Checks that box. Tomorrow morning, the builders are coming back to finish out the shop part, and then also tomorrow morning, the septic company is installing the It's a treatment facility. It's ATS, or I forget the acronym. It's a aerobic something or other. Anyway, Mississippi Health and Human Services, Health Department has to come out and blah, 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 blah. They tell you what you have to do, and that's what we had to do. So that'll be installed tomorrow. And while they're doing that, I'm going to hook up the last little run for the water supply. So I'll have water and sewer done tomorrow. And then we're just waiting on the electric company, which should be no less than a week, or no more than a week, I should say, to hook up the electricity. And at that point, we will just be on our own timeline, finally on our own timeline, to get the rest of the stuff buttoned up so we can put the camper in here. That's the plan. And it's cold and windy, so goodbye.